Hello. Welcome back. Thank you, as always, for taking the time out of your busy day, or even if it's not busy, right? Thank you for taking time out regardless. As we approach the end of the text of A Course in Miracles, we recognize that throughout this process, we see the same images over and over again. We hear the same words over and over again. We see the same metaphors and teaching examples over and over and over again. And let's just be very honest with ourselves as adult learners. We need that repetition. As you've no doubt discovered more than once, whatever your spiritual path or journey has looked like up to this point, you've discovered without a doubt that our conventional modern attitude of "that's so yesterday. I don't need that information anymore." Right, that kind of petulant little ego thought. Yeah, I don't need this. I got this. I saw this in the last seminar. Oh, did you apply it? Okay, then. Have the peace of God and nothing else? Are you experiencing that? No? Oh, okay. Right. So we need the repetition. That petulant little immature attitude is most unhelpful. So, one of the images that we're talking about here is that of a veil that we've thrown over willingly, placed over our face so that we cannot see. We think we can see, but we see only the fabric right in front of our eyes. The light beyond it is still there. We simply don't see it. Now, as you begin to peel one layer of the veil off, one act of true forgiveness at a time, the light begins to shine through. You discover you can see it. The veil has grown very thin for you. May not feel like it today. In fact, it may feel like you've thrown several more layers back on. We all have days like that. The very fact that you're here, the very fact that you're even paying attention to this video should be convincing proof. It should serve as convincing proof for you of how close you really and truly are to awakening. Again, depending on the day, depending on the moment, it may not feel that way at all, but you do know that it's true. After all, there's a lot of content out there. Here you are. Just tell you everything you need to know. Tells me everything I need to know. So, what exactly is this veil? Of course, that's one of the metaphors that we place over our eyes so that we don't see. We look at the interior of a dark cloth and we think it's reality. Meanwhile, reality remains completely unchanged by our, talk about a petulant little immature decision, and, well, a decision made in great haste to throw a veil over our face and blot out the light. Great. Yeah. The light's still there. It's never gone anywhere. And as we peel one layer off at a time, we come to realize that, yeah, this course means what it says. The light has always been there. It's still there now. It's all there is. So a decision not to look upon it doesn't blot it out, does it? The light's still there, even though we're unwilling to look at it. Well, are you more willing today than you were yesterday to look at it? Are you willing now, whereas you might not have been 5 minutes ago? I don't know. No? Hopefully, right? That's part of the point of repeating these ideas over and over again to inspire us to put them into practice. Because that is unequivocally where we learn the best through our own visceral, lived experience. Our experience shows us and demonstrates to us that these ideas that we're looking at, maybe poring over or obsessing over and wishing we could dismiss, but we're drawn to them again and again. All these ideas in A Course in Miracles are true. Let your experience prove it to you. This pixelated image on your screen will prove absolutely nothing to you. How can it? It's a collection of dots. That can't prove a single thing. You, however, can prove it, and you will prove it to yourself. One day, if not today. That's your choice to make. So, this veil is our self concept, our little tiny ego self concept, this sense of an individual self, separate quite naturally from all other individual selves, separate from God, separate, separate, separate. That, that is our self concept. And that is the veil. And when we look at the interior of the veil, we look at hell. Separation is hell. So hell's not necessarily a place, a fiery, bubbly lake, or the well-known and joked about group of people standing around drinking coffee. Breaks over. You know what I'm talking about. It's not that. It's not a place, because that would imply there are other places. Well, there's not. There's no separation of any kind. This apparent separation is, in fact, hell. And that's what we're looking at when we see ourselves as a little self, an ego, individual self. So we don't have to wish that people will go straight to hell. They're here. I mean, really. And you may wish to argue that, well, okay, my life's pretty comfortable. Great. Okay, no problem. Fantastic. So you've got a lot of money. Fantastic. So you're in a healthy adult relationship that's beautiful and satisfying and fulfilling to you. Fantastic. So you've got a really beautiful wine cellar. Hmm. Where do you live again? Fantastic, right? When we think we're separate from our source, capital S, God, it is hell. So you don't have to be terrified of going there when this physical body goes bye-bye. We're here. And even in those moments where it seems pleasant, we discover that that pleasant candlelit dinner does not last. Our beautiful relationship doesn't last because one of these is going to go bye-bye, probably before the other one is going to go bye-bye. Huh. Yeah. Yes. Which doesn't mean don't enjoy life. do enjoy life. But we don't have to approach it from the standpoint that it is our only reality. It is not reality at all. So, from that frame of reference, from that standpoint, we can go forward and just live our lives. If you're happily married, stay happily married. If you love to be physically fit, stay physically fit as long as you possibly can. Well, why not? Right? We don't have to abandon all of our illusions. Why would we? I mean, really, think about it this way. Why would we do that? Because here, well, we appear to be here on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock, inhabiting it. Well, it appears to be our home, which of course it's not, because, well, we're perfectly at home in God where we've always been. And He doesn't do worlds because that would imply a separation between one world and another. There is no separation of any kind, period. So while we appear to be here, here's something worth considering for all of us. There are people out there that only you will be able to reach. Or, we could put it this way, you'll be able to reach them best. This pixelated image on your screen won't be able to reach them the way that you will. Why? Pixelated image may never come into contact with them, but you will. You know them. You will contact them or they will contact you. You will connect when it is time for you to do so. You're meant to work together, to teach and learn from one another. So we show up because this is a form that people, our brother, can relate to. And you might say, well, dude, I don't relate to you at all. Well, you're still here. Must have related to something, or you easily could have scrolled away. Well, no, that's true. It's a form that we're used to seeing, a middle-aged man. And you can't get any more common than that. Age 53, all right, so what? Yeah, it's a form that we can relate to and identify with without being plunged off an existential cliff, so to speak, without being thrown into existential terror. So the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, is very kind and knows just how many layers you can peel off at one time. So even if you implore him to do it, he's not going to rip it right off because what if you're terrified of your own limitlessness? That's not a kind way to awaken. So most of us, almost all of us, get what looks like a long process. I mean, it can seem really long, can't it? We get a gradual process of awakening. The Course refers to it as a gentle awakening, and it is. It is. That's the reason behind it. So if you've ever wondered why this seems to be taking so long, well, that's why. And are you taking your forgiveness opportunities when you become aware of them? Only you will know that. Huh. Mm, right. So this self-concept of ours is the veil, and we're invited to let it go. I mean, the Course refers to it as a sorry self-concept, and it is. It is. It's sad. We're invited to let it go. Just give it over to the Holy Spirit. Give your entire experience over to the Holy Spirit for the purposes of healing the mind. I mean, wouldn't you rather see yourself as needed as an integral part of salvation, as positively and definitively needed? Wouldn't you rather see yourself as integral to this process than just spinning your wheels? Okay, then. We're invited to set this self-concept aside. While we hold it, we preserve it with the sword of judgment, chapter 31, section 7 of the text, which, by the way, is the penultimate section of the text. In other words, after what has seemed like quite a long journey, we're arriving at the end of that. So here's an interesting point common to all spirituality. When you reach what looks to be the end of something, what do you then do? How about turn back to page one? I know. This, I'm referring to the text of A Course in Miracles here, is something that you may find, and if you've done it, then you know from your own experience, that we may come back to this over and over again. And it's like reading a novel multiple times or seeing a movie multiple times. You always pick up something else. And with this course, it's just notorious for this. I mean, really, this is the way it works. You can read through it all once. You pick up on what you're supposed to pick up on. Then you come back to it, and then you realize, wait a minute, I never saw that the first time. That really wasn't there. Oh, it was. You just weren't ready to see it or hear it at that point in time. And each reading is quite like this. It is. So we're always learning, or if you prefer, unlearning, right? Because our learning is setting aside the ego, lifting the veil. While we hold that sorry self concept, we defend it with the sword of judgment. We judge, we condemn, we blame. That's a metaphor for how we preserve the veil. We'd love to remove it, but we're afraid. So we do it one layer at a time. If this seems like it's going to take an impossibly long time, understand something that A Course in Miracles repeats throughout and teaches us is that true forgiveness, as we learn it here, as we practice it day to day, moment to moment in our lives, this saves us time. It's possible through our true forgiveness to lift more than one layer at a time. We all have forgiveness lessons to learn. When we learn them, we simply don't have to repeat them. And if you don't learn them when you have the opportunity right now, then they're going to come up again. And we all have this experience in life where we don't deal with something when we know we can or perhaps should, and it arises again, maybe more vocally, more violently, even. We don't know. Yeah. It's an opportunity for us to awaken, and that's how we do. All right. So, yeah, the invitation's always there. Give your entire experience over to the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, for the purposes of healing the mind, and see what happens. I invite you. All right. So, thank you, as always, again, for tuning in, for your dedication and commitment to your spiritual practice. Of all of the offerings that you could ever give anyone, anywhere, anytime, that is the highest and best. And there's nothing that even remotely compares to it. So I thank you for that. Subscription prompt is here. Hit that, subscribe. Thank you to those of you who have recently joined us. There are several videos that appear every week here on this channel. And as we've mentioned, we've been going through the text of A Course in Miracles. We're nearly at the end. And it doesn't matter where you are, or indeed whether you're a course student at all. You've watched this video nearly until the end, so something has connected for you. That is a message from the Holy Spirit. You may 100% count on that. So let me just wrap it up by saying that questions are most welcome here. If you have them, please feel welcome to type them out here in the comment thread on YouTube. I would be happy to hear from you, and I do read these comments because several videos appear each week, so I have opportunities to check, and I do. Okay? So thank you again, and I will talk to all of you soon.